Yay, I did it properly. Greetings, you beautiful listeners. It's been a minute, but we're back and the perfect time has begun. The perfect time to come back. So, before we really get into the things and join our players, allow me to recap the entire story, what's led up to this moment, and because the player who Rose is back, we have to recap everything for them and some of the things that's going on presently where they are. So, last we left off, Rose had changed some things on their ship, and now it is New Haven, where the gift ship used to be, and it is now a shining beacon to all the wayward races and species in the cluster. Rose was safe in one of the many citizens' homes. A very kind old lady. Her name is Diaga. Other people call her Baba. Her hut will occasionally lift up on chicken feet, but she's a very kind old lady. Makes some of the best candies in New Haven. But then everyone else had gone to wild space with a thrilling rescue of Bella's older brother, Solaris's bride, Sin. Well, the astral dreadnought, Sin. Harry saved her, and we had a thrilling bar scene where everyone except Figs and the Seer were getting exceptionally smashed off the Druahar's Grundle. Many victims were claimed that day, except for those two. The Seer had found themselves a interesting bedfellow by the name of Gary the Mimic, who is actually the bar that Sin operates. And, well, our favorite doctor had made friends with the juvenile Tarrasque by the name of Fang, and convinced him to rebel against, well, we all knew who he really was. Everin's father was really now taken over by Tharizdun, so he talked Fang into rebelling against Tharizdun. Fang just laid waste to the army and the giant prison inside this ancient entity's head. The players had to navigate a massive space battle, and with some daring moves from Harry and some quick thinking from the Seer and some vines, they were able to safely navigate it into the prison. And with the work of everyone's own badass moves and Harry launching a literal ship up Tharizdun's ass, they were able to bring an end to that piece of Tharizdun. But then they were blasted away to different planes, and each one of them had to conquer against a piece of Tharizdun himself and claim a piece of the reality wheel and make their way back to the Astral Sea. But what was waiting for our dear heroes? Punishment, because they've been gone for months and they were framed for murder and attempted murder of Tharizdun, because as they learned, he is still alive. While in prison, the Seer learned that Gary the Mimic had given birth to their beautiful baby girl, Oracle, the cute little mimic in the shape of a backpack. It's so adorable. Everyone loves Oracle. The Seer found out that he is, in all actuality, a reincarnation of one of the ancients by the name of Tartarus. He actually helped create the universe. He was Tartarus and his bride was Genova. And before Tharizdun slayed him, they had one last child by the name of Sephi, the one-winged angel. The Seer, our good friend, the doctor actually finally came to terms with. The doctor had finally learned about the truth about the worm inside of his head. Squishy and him finally made amends, and he even made him a new body. He has a badass Tharizdun forged body. It's pretty badass. And for some reason, Figs, just things were a little bit seeming odd about her. Well, that's because she swallowed the reality wheel, but at the same time, she's been plotting something, thinking about something. And it's finally coming to fruition. She's going through a change. But because of this great change, it has finally caused the other ancients' eyes to finally fall upon the Astral Sea, and they finally see what has happened to their multiverse. And they're not happy. So all the players were all teleported. Everin, though, ended up at the High Elf Palace. We'll find out what happens to him later. Now, at the time these players were being transported away, Rose had been enjoying some quiet time, because finally, the one thing I think she might have been enjoying the most, she'd been enjoying some peace and quiet and being left alone. But when the Baba was coming in, the last thing that happened was she was walking towards Rose, bringing a teacup, and then it was just her torso, and then it collapsed on the ground. And the wall had grown a giant set of fangs and what looks like a gargantuan chimp mixed with a Tarrasque came out of the wall. And there are just nothing but screams erupting from New Haven. That, dear listeners, is everything that has happened up till now. Can you feel it? Something big is about to happen to the players. Something big is about to happen to our world. Momentous change. Something that needed to happen, but a heavy price needed to be paid. Figs.
Yes.
As you're being teleported, boom! You got hit with a pillar of light.
Mm-hmm.
As you're in this pillar of light, you're standing, you see another figure that looks like you, just much taller. Her hands are not being shown, just this elaborate headdress with blades all around it. Eyes that are just an endless abyss.
He's gonna look at that, think over it, just like, yep, I'm going crazy.
You are not going crazy. I am you, and you are me. You are my shadow, and you are to be thee. Are you ready to be the Lady of Pain?
Do I ever have a choice?
The choice was made the minute you were born. This has been your destiny. Accept it. It must come from your own lips. You made your choice to just exist and have a quiet life, and look at the mess you let be made.
Will it end him?
Yes, but...
Yes.
All right then, the price will be paid. Just the light around the pillar, just boom! Explosion across the plains is felt. Literally every plane just looks in the direction from where the shaking is going. Toe Jam and Earl, in the middle of a breakdance battle, they just stop and they look. Oh man, you think Seer's all right? I don't know, Earl. Deep in Helheim, deep in that plane, Harry, your father, sitting there with Michael, they both look up. Sitting on top of a pile of just broken animatronics. You think Harry's alright? He's strong enough to make it through this. Even where the MVWF has ended up. The now head of the commission, he looks in the direction and goes, man, I hope Figs and Everin are alright. They never collected their checks. Bella. Boom! You hear what just sounds like a massive bell, like a giant grandfather clock, a giant chime. Boom! And you're in front of what seems just like a podium. The bottom is just, you can't even fathom how tall this podium. You're standing literally on just a rock floating in an endless void. Boom! You see what looks like a gargantuan dragon. He's literally holding what looks like would be the grandfather clock in his left hand, and then he's holding a scale in his right. Everything shakes as you just hear, oh, who said this one was allowed to exist? You hear just an endless, unfathomable amount of scuttling of just endless amounts of rats, little scuttling feet, and you just see a gargantuan figure of a face appear. You hear oh, go right ahead.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
Ulrich, calm down. The game has just begun. And then you hear a massive set of trumpets and then just cheering as you see these abominations that your mind cannot even begin to describe. You start crying as you look at this parade, and then you see this half of just this torso with this happy looking face and a hat but the inside of this
try to
half of
look
this,
away.
you look
Well,
away.
Yeah.
But just for me to explain, to let the listeners know,
Yeah.
the inside of the torso is hollow, like a bus and a little tea party, and just this little individual with little tiny bispeckled glasses is holding a teacup. But the bottom half of his torso is a strange cephalopod design. Ulrich! Just this fleshy portal opens up. Oh, you two are so immature. And just the beauty this individual exhibits, but just the sexual tension, just the overwhelming amount of lust they exude, just comes through this fleshy portal. And it's just like a set of organs just forming together to make this feminine form with kind of like intestine snake hair. Oh, Slan, you're just as beautiful as ever. Oh, yes, Slan. And then just immediately, just the sight of a brain appears in your mind, just the endless texture of a brain. And then finally an individual, the bottom half of the brain is just a skull, the bottom half, and then just black that makes his torso void. Oh, you're magnificent. And then even above all of them, just it's not your sight that fathoms this, it's your mind that fathoms this. These impossibly large figures are just a speck to what you are in front of. Just this individual where literally a cosmos makes their head. What would be just from what you could contemplate is thousands of hands with what's leaking space matter from the opening of their hands and just leaking starry cosmoses. Above each one is a new galaxy, a new plane.
Excellent. Because by the time my mind has comprehended all of this, Belmaya's the shimmery form of the lunar dragon wings has already wrapped around her protectively.
The time
and her eyes are screwed shut. She does not want to see this, yet her mind is obviously telling her what she's still seeing. She's just
Come, you're scaring her now. Everyone, please. Can't you see she's terrified?
Interestingly enough, too, there is the hint of what will one day become wings of flame attempting to also wrap around, but that's more basically baby dragon wings.
Young lady, will you please trust me and open your eyes? I am a dragon, just like you. Please open your eyes. I will not let the others harm you.
Do you give me your word?
I give you my word on my very existence. And if I was to lie, all time will be erased. So please trust me.
Okay. And she opens her eyes, and yeah, she is terrified, beyond terrified.
You see a very kind-looking old man that's wearing what would be, it's done in the style of the Chinese head cap. He has a Fu Manchu mustache. He just has the warmest smile on his face, and on his chest is a yin-yang, but it's also in the design of an hourglass. Yes. Hello there. I told you to trust me. Slan, this young one, no harm will come to you today.
Okay.
You do realize you are in relation to everyone here. You belong with the ancients.
I've been trying not to think about that for the last few months.
You and that one that is called the seer, he will only be down there to give a testimony, but no harm will come to him. That is also part of my word. You two are protected. You are ancients.
I'm not sure I trust the seer. He ultimately killed my father figure.
Would you like me to reveal a truth about this? I understand you saw him as a father figure, but I have seen his entire timeline. I know the truth of Father Limerick.
I know he was evil, supposedly serving Barrisdune.
It is It is...
He raised me.
I understand, but you must understand the seer had no part in what Zargon decided to do. He was the one that you called Michael and you were led to believe to be your future mate.
Yes.
The seer the only thing they had in relation is that their father was related to your father. But understand, the seer did not know his father's past, more than how you knew Father Limic's past. And that's all I can say in their defense.
Okay, then tell me a truth.
Father Limic has always prayed to Tharizdun. Please, don't do this to me. Does Bella look in the direction of Tharizdun's voice?
Yes. Yes, she does.
He is in a floor, like a red pillar of light. His arms are bound above his head, his legs bound underneath him, and just this strange... You can't even understand what these chains would be made of, but they make forms of chains. Miss Ruby, you did a magnificent job on the chains as always. This is why the denizens of Humblewood do the best restraints.
Why is he bound?
Because he must pay the price. He has broken many rules, but he has done the greatest of all crimes.
The cosmology wheel.
The destruction of the cosmology wheel, but his crimes go even greater than that. Bella.
He corrupted the Celestials.
That is just a small piece. Bella, the astral plane in the wild space was created by Tharizdun, but not in secret. He wished to hide it. That's why he destroyed the cosmology wheel. That's why he tainted the Celestials, so our eyes would never fall upon you.
So you're angry because of that? Because someone wanted somewhere safe.
Safe?
That's what I see it as.
The trillions of lives that were cussed because of his little game, for him to create his little world, the people who had to die. Gods can always come back, but those innocent lives, I understand that some new some new species were born and you knew safety. I understand that. But look at where we come from, Bella. We had to watch the ones we love be destroyed. And
I would do exactly the same thing, regardless of consequences.
Oh no. I have not revealed his time yet, so I will not say his name. But the old time dragon looks very fearful for a minute, gazes into the direction of the gargantuan entity that is beyond conception, and within your very soul, you just hear the scale tipped towards destruction. Please calm down, Bella. I understand you're in your emotions. Please be very careful. This is not a game we're playing. I want you people to exist. Everyone has their right to exist. But the way Tharizdun wanted to do it was wrong. He wanted to have ultimate control to where he decides who lives, who dies, who gets to be part of his little grand theatrics. Oh dear. The seer! Are you here now?
That I am, dearie.
Oh dear.
So, since I have eyes and ears everywhere, how much do you think that I hold?
Well, I imagine you've heard everything, but this is very important. Very, 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 very important. Because where you are, right now you guys are what I like to call just the nothing. You're in the vast nothing. And the seer, right now, your head's been flipping, killing you. Like, it's extremely painful. Like, you have been on the verge of vomiting. Thankfully, and you will notice, Oracle is not there, by the grace of God.
I was going to say, I haven't drunk anything that the doctors made in quite a while, so I shouldn't be having this bad of a headache.
You're hearing every plane until finally you hear screams.
Oh.
You recognize these screams because they're the screams of the drow. Do you focus in on this?
Yes, I do, dearie.
as you focus in on it, we will finally return, dear listeners, back to the Dragonborn ship. I bet you all thought I forgot. And it's a beautiful day. Attila he's looking big, and then you see Rose, she's holding a pair of twins, and they're Dragonborn, half Drow. And they're holding each other, and as Attila is sitting, he looks and waves at his dear uncle. And as he does, one of the teepees, it leans over, and Attila's uncle, his top half is gone, and just blood gushes out of the bottom half as the feet take 2 more steps and fall. And then the teepee morphs and shapes, and it looks like a horrifying combination of like an orangutan, chimp, and a gorilla with black fur. And just the head is just a giant gaping maw of fangs. More screams erupt. An individual is walking. The ground literally grows a mouth and... Tainted. Must be erased. Must be erased. Must be erased. Tainted. Tainted. Must be erased. Must be erased. Tainted. Must be erased. And everyone just starts running and screaming as just countless monsters of these just start running and chasing after them, ripping out of the ground, turning from the teepees, from the walls, grabbing them, biting them in half. Stops, looks at Attila, looks at Rose, looks at her, looks at Emily. Must be erased. And as they're just about to grab them, boom, they're gone.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh, I'm coming to you, Crest.
No, it's not that. It's that when you started this segment, you said Rose towards the beginning.
No. I meant Emily. But no, actually, for what happened to you, Crest, that is what happened in the beginning.
I did remember the mouth thing. I was just wondering, like, wait, when did I get to this scene? Okay.
That was wrong naming. My apologies. I meant Emily in the beginning for that. Sorry. No. So, and then the last thing you hear from Attila and Emily is, is all we see black. The seer! How do you react?
Oh, I think the CEO is going to have fun killing somebody, Dewey. Is there any way I can get to that location?
The seer, something strange is going on. You feel a tapping on your shoulder. And you remember that individual I described with the little bispeckled glasses and the strange cephalopod-like bottom half?
Yes, I do.
He appears in front of you, offering to hold your hand, like, finally, it's been a long time. My name is Gab. Please calm down and take my hand.
You know
if you trust in my words, your people will be safe.
You know what? This is not the first tentacle I held in my hand before, Dewey.
You know, he licks his lips, looking at you, eyeing you up and down, and his tongue literally goes all around his body, licking himself. I could explore pleasures that I've been taught by Slan herself, little one.
I'm sure you could.
Now,
but
do you trust
my people?
trust
my people before I explore anything of you?
Do you trust my words, though?
Of course I can. I can hear your heart rate.
So you take Gab's hand?
Yes.
As you take his hands, in the middle of all the strange monstrosities, this individual that his head, it looks like a strange, just eyeless helmet, but from the left and the right are just 2 gargantuan curved horns. On his chest is a symbol of a yin and a yang, but if you looked down it, it would just stare into like you're staring into nothing, and then you would see the sight of Mother Void. That is the gargantuan entity's name. And in his right hand, well, his arm ends in what looks like a glowing spear. In his right hand is what looks like forms into a gargantuan shield. All the creatures stop and drop and go, Arbiter, 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 Arbiter. Judgment hasn't been made. Price must be paid. The glowing spear fires off in an endless trail, destroying thousands of these monstrosities. And they all sit down in a lotus position and they just wait, staring, licking their gargantuan teeth, staring at the citizens of the Dragonborn ship. Judgment hasn't been made. When judgment is made, the final decree will be made. Verdict unknown. Verdict unknown. Verdict unknown. So the seer, you've been going with Gab, and that's when you finally see this crowd of. Your mind can't fathom these shapes of what these individuals are. The best bet would be as you look at one like an amoeba, but on the inside of him is like a whole other crustacean creature. So it has like two entities merged into one, but not. And you can tell it's giving you those kind of eyes.
As they always do, Derry.
Ah, interesting. It appears you are related to our species of ancient. It's always nice to meet long extended family. I represent those that planes would call demons. I am Gabby. Is my full name, but family may call me Gab.
Which would you prefer me to call you?
You may call me Gabby, so that way I can keep my options open. He winks at you.
Well, Gab, I'm gonna wake at your back. Then
No.
it's a pleasure to meet you.
It is my great honor to meet you. Now, I do apologize for what happened, but the mother got a little impatient in issuing punishment. She knows that even she must follow the rules. Even she is not above them all.
Let me ask you this, Gabby.
Yes.
What happens to the rule breakers, even one so powerful as the mother?
They are erased.
Is
No
that
coming
so?
back. No coming back. Not a trace.
Seems fair, especially ones who are way above my pay grade.
And you just hear kind of like a squishing, and you see what looks like really buff men, just made gargantuanly buff men made of just fleshy material, and on their back they're carrying just this chariot-like bed, and there's this feminine looking fleshy female. Just even though it's gory and disgusting to look at her material, you just can't help but look away from her. Just the lust that exudes from her.
This is oddly arousing.
Gab. Oh, Slan. Oh. Some places they call her a naughty worm. Here we call her Slan. She represents all kinds of eldritch weirdness and such. Everything that people can't understand or fathom, and just of a strange nature. Because that's how things of that lusty behavior can be thought of. That is how Mr. Slan.
I put my hands under my chin, dearie. Go on.
Well. Hello there. I imagine you met my prudish sister by the name of Genova. She is the little good girl that with her little husband sang their little love song and created the multiverses. Everything was so much more fun when we had her all by ourselves. No rules to worry about. But then again, I've thought of my fair share of stories, honey. So you're going to be one of our star witnesses.
A star witness.
Oh, yeah.
Please pray tell me. I've had a bad headache as recently.
Slan, your ways are perverted as always. From the bottom of your feet, what looks like an insectoid-like hand with blackness wrapped around it like a drape wraps around your body, caresses you, holds you. And then you see next to you is like a skeletal face with just the top of it's a brain. Hello, my name is Void. I represent all those that reside in what you call evil. So what you might call hell. I am Void.
That's lovely to meet you, Derek.
You interest me because you also smell of my relation. Like a insectoid-like mouth opens from the skull mouth and sucks on your neck.
Well, if you want to take this private, I'm happy to oblige. All you had to do was ask, Stewie.
Familiarity. Now, you are supposed to be the one who help us find out the fate universe. Now, I hope you won't let your emotions get the best of you. Because, granted, the one named Bella, she is counted as a judge. So Mother is a little partial to what she has to say. So she can be quick on the gun. I need you to sway Mother to your world. I cut of your jib. I like you.
Well, I'm quite fond of you myself. Now, what advice would you give to me to have sweet mother favor me?
Have patience. Just millions of rats pile upon each other until they just become a gargantuan head. It just forms a face. Be patient. I represent all those things that crawl, and all those things that people fear, those that they consider insectoid, bug, all that are gross, they like to say. But you may call me Ulrich.
Pleasure, dearie.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I haven't even touched you yet.
The rats start shaking and undulating, so the head just starts undulating like it's just Slan, my love.
To be fair, I do have that effect on some women, some men, everything.
Do you understand the responsibility in front of you today?
Do what I can to save my universe.
Yes.
Sounds pretty simple.
So you have gotten the cut of the gist that your universe is on trial, and it's either it comes to an end, or you officially join Mother's warming touch and love.
Something. However, I have a beautiful daughter I need to save, and a very beautiful.
You mean your beautiful daughter Oracle? She is, of course, safe from any kind of judging. She belongs to the ancients. You think we would dare harm her? The rats all start laughing, little chirps, so the head starts laughing as well.
Have you seen my galaxy? Of course I'd be worried about the safety of my daughter.
Hi,
Look at everything
honey.
that I've lit. Look at everything that Thorstein has done. Look at everything that the Celestials have done. Do you even know how many bodies of my people, the people of other species that I've had to bury, all because of Thorstein and the Celestials?
So that is actually when Gab gets a very, very angry look on his face. And just, you see all these veins just start to pop from how angry he is. That is actually why I am very angry, because the drow and other denizens and species, they dwell from my realms, from my loving gaze and protection.
Your loving gaze and protection.
Tharsdoon sacrificed many of denizens of people from my plains to create his little experiment. I did not know the horrible travesties your kind had gone through. I have been mourning trillions of my babies.
As have I. So if it's gonna be a battle between a 24-year-old sheltered child and me, I'm pretty sure I got this. But I do hope that the young lady, Bella, will actually accept the evidence of what is. Though I do understand her relationship with her father, I cannot forgive her father for the atrocities he has done to the trillions of people that I had to bury, including the children.
Gab's face relaxes, and everyone's faces, they get a smile. It horrifies you because it literally reaches the bottom of their eyelids from how big this smile is on their face.
Does it horrify me or does it arouse me?
You get a mixture of both, scare-roused. So, and then you just hear in your very soul, one scale, 1 point towards living, to be allowed to exist. Mother heard that. She is pleased. So you people do understand true empathy. And they all disappear and sear. You hear a, "Hi, honey!"
Oh,
Do you look in the direction?
of course I do.
You see Gary just done up all to the nines. Like she's done up like an old school Texas wife. She has the big old massive hair, and she's got Dolly Parton sized boobs right now. And you see her holding Oracle under one arm, and then you can tell behind her are just a bunch of mimics. This is your in-laws.
Hold, Gary, my darling. I told you was gonna get it, and I'm out of prison, dearie. I'll behave myself in front of your in-laws, though.
And then floating above the mimics, in just you see this chair that's just erupting energy, just pulsating energy underneath it, and you can't. There's no species to describe this. You can clearly tell that Tharsdoon stole the blood of this individual, of this mimic, to create the changelings. This is the mimic. So this is
Hang on, if this mimic also wants a taste of me, they need to get permission from Gary Faust.
And this is when this gargantuan entity that kind of looks like a slug frog thing. So this is the one you chose to marry, pompous prick.
Speak for yourself, dearie.
Well, I am the one who created the mimics. You may call me Super Kami Guru. Can we just call you Guru for short? Super Kami Guru accepts this. So, she is the one to represent an entire galaxy. This will be amusing. Nail. Yeah, boss. Take her coat. Take his coat. Does the seer have a coat?
I mean, if Gab let me go, I probably don't. I had one, and then half my clothes disappeared, dearie.
He doesn't have a coat. Don't take his coat. And because of the vastness of this nothingness, all this can go on, and literally, like, it would seem just like right next to you, but still thousands of miles away from you. We come to the doctor. David!
I am the doctor!
Oh, the doctor. You're in a vast nothing. If you could fathom darkness, this is it. But thankfully, you're not alone. There's Squishy, and he's turned away from you at the moment because just wrapped around, squeezing your waist just hard as Genova. I told you Mama wasn't going to wait much longer.
What is she holding on to again?
I'm going to have to censor this from right now. Let's just say Mama got her D.
Oh my. You know what? The doctor going 40,000 years of blue ball, he's okay with this.
And sis, you know, I'm supposed to be the one that you call she who thirsts now. Genova immediately lets go and goes, no, go away. The doctor, you see this fleshy, just made of like fleshy entrails, but just that lust that exudes from her. And she's on top of her buff men tower, and they each slam into each other to form a fleshy humanoid staircase for her to walk down, as she just slowly wiggles her hips as she walks down at you. Well. Tartarus, you're looking even better now than you did back then.
Thanks. I've been doing a lot of sit-ups.
She, from her tongue, this impossibly long tongue, from her mouth, an impossibly long tongue stretches out and it just licks your ear and then goes back in her mouth.
Don't tell me you're someone else I was married to, or you have an illegitimate kid, or you want to join the harem, like...
Oh, God. Oh, trust me, I tried, honey baby. But Genova over there was always protective of her little Tartarus. She's in front of you just doing like, she has like all of her hairs just raised up like a cat, and she's just like pawing like an angry cat at her sister. Away with you! Get away with you, you evil harlot! Tartarus! And the individual I've been explaining that is Gabby is floating in the sky because he's really little. It's just that he floats everywhere. So he literally just looks like a head with just the bottom for his neck is like a cephalopod legs, and then just two arms that are stretching from that doing a clapping hands. Tartarus!
Hey, you!
Genova, he doesn't remember any of us, does he? No, just a torrential waterfall starts pouring from underneath his glasses. No! The fun that we had, Tartarus. You're the one that designed my vehicle transport. Hey, Tartarus. And you just see that in that thing that is just what would be 2 arms and just a torso, empty torso, bus with a wizard's hat. Hey, Tartarus.
Hey, you.
My
Looking-
sadness knows no bounds.
Aw, cheer up there, buddy. I'm just gonna walk up and give him a big hug.
The size of this thing, your arms just like doesn't just like the space of what would be his wrist.
Still counts.
Oh, that's the thought that matters.
I'm just happy to get out of jail for once.
Well, you do understand you're to be a witness, right?
Man, you mean to tell me I'm missing conjugal visit day when I finally decided to give in? This happens? Fuck me. Okay.
Genova's face turns bright red, and just a pillar of steam just pours from the top of her head, and she faints. And you just hear, "Oh, Tartarus, touch me there." And Salon just goes, "Once again, I'm the one known as She Who Thirsts."
We have a nickname for people like that. We call them
Oh,
Thought.
you feel your other ear get licked as she goes, "Must have you tell me more of this thoughtness."
Why is this not bothering me?
And like Salon just starts getting hit with what would be the best equivalent would be like a rolled up newspaper. What starts hitting her as you look, this clearly looks like to be about a 4'5" tall gerbil, but she has little square glasses. She has that typical grandma bun, and she is just wearing the typical big mama Southern night flower dress that we all know is a fucking moo-moo, but she insists is a fucking gown. Bad, Slan. Bad. Get back. And then in her hand, just all of a sudden, a squirt bottle appears and she starts squirting her. Bad. I call this anti-horny juice. That is not fair. Humblewood. It burns. Away, horny. Away. Ha. So you're Mr. Tartarus' reincarnation. You ain't nothing special.
Oh yeah? Well, watch this. I just pull down my jumpsuit and...
Your jumpsuit,
like a helicopter.
As you do this, it's like just you have no idea how this happens. Just it's like a bad video cut. Your pants are down, and all of a sudden your pants are back up. You can't overpower someone like me, boy. You understand where the term "topa" comes from? It's from us. And this little scrawny, little old ass gerbil just looks at you.
I'm gonna pet her, and I'm gonna call you Hamsky. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, wait. Now suddenly, like, the whole Tartarus mindset's kind of, like, slowly graving in. It's like, oh, I think my son's about to be killed or something. Oh, yeah, I don't got time for this. What's happening here? I haven't seen all of you in a long time.
So, you see above your head, you see a knock your brains right hammer just disappears from... Good. I figured that would work. So... All right, Tartarus, what's going on is your little part of the universe is on trial, and Thar's-Dune, you gonna figure out if his little ass is gonna be executed. And then if that little astral seed place is gonna be deleted. I, for one, I kind of wanted to exist because I kind of made the mistake and I asked Tyr to send my little protege down there. And she's still there, and the always hungry have started appearing. This is not good.
Okay, so I'm gonna level with you here. There's a few people I actually can stand who live in this dimension. So, and there's somebody that I dearly love, and if we can avoid the whole universe here being destroyed, that would be great.
Listen, there will be time to take care of all your little petty nonsense later. There is a big boy. Turn around and look. Tartarus, you see your mother, the mother Cosmos. You know this is the one that birthed you.
Mommy! Just get all excited, and I'm like hopping up and down.
Yes. And then that's when you see a gargantuan pillar of light, and in the middle, there's just these massive swords floating around it. And you can feel that Figs is inside there, but then there's also someone else inside there as well.
Can I roll to see who it is?
Yes, you may. And as you're rolling, she goes, "You know, we gave Tharsdoon all that power so he could create Sigil, goddammit! Not create some flippin' astral sea wild space got bullshit shenanigan. And then he goes and he makes my plane become some secret place?
Dick move.
I have not been able to go and get my tan on over at the flame plane in at least 3 millennia, boy. These buns need to be toasted."
So if you talk to the seer about that, they can help you. They often say how they are quite handy with buns.
So what looks like a really big paddle with holes drilled into it appears behind you, and it just hits you in your ass.
What should I roll?
Oh, for history.
History. Okay.
History
Is a 10.
Oh my. Oh, wait, one more time. What was your question for it?
I just wanted to know who else was up there with Figs.
So your memory is really hazy. You do remember that there was supposed to be someone that is the literal embodiment of this great cosmology wheel that is the one who watches over Sigil, the center of that is supposed to be the center of the multiverse.
Cool.
I just can't remember what she was supposed to be called, but you can tell she's definitely up there. Wait, you're getting the same feeling that her and Figs are the same, though. Looks like a little one made her choice. Ooh,
I'm gonna be a spaz as I start waving because I'm like teeter-tottering between the Doctor and Tartarus, and it's like, this plane's messing with me, man. Messing with me.
You know what? Hold on. If we're gonna do this, right? She so a little step ladder appears in front of her, and she walks up it, and she karate chops you in the head. She does it a few more times. She's like, "All right, hold on." Bap, bap, boom! And literally, your Doctor persona rips from your body, and then there's the Tartarus side of you. There we go. That'll be a lot easier for you. Now you gotta play both of them. But
I apologize for my rudeness and inappropriate behavior. I'm now ready to give my testimony. Who that? Who there?
Hold on. We're definitely gonna have to. Alrighty. And now we're getting really close to, because this is when we're gonna actually go to New Haven, to right before that moment happened with Rose. So, true to my word, things have been very good for you, Rose. There's been no surprises. It's been peaceful, quiet. Granted, I do imagine you've been trying to figure out how to get home. And why these things have just been like, you have a thought and coincidentally something will either appear or happen correlating to that thought. Because there was just the other day, you were really wishing that Yaga would just get a new bed. And when you turned around, there was just this gorgeous, elaborate, king-size bed behind you. And then we finally come to the day that I described in the very beginning of the session. You're sitting there, and Yaga has been preparing breakfast. And as she's walking, chomp! And then one of the ever-hungry, is what they are called, literally rips from the wall. And then you hear the screams of the town erupting, and the ever-hungry looks at you. It slowly starts to approach you, mouth just about to start to rip open, until its tongue's like literally tasting your scent. It squeals in horror and runs, just ripping through the wall. And then I leave it on you. Excuse me.
Rose's eyes are currently the size of dinner plates. I imagine she's got some blood splattered on her and on her new clothes. She probably changed a few times since everything. So after a moment, still probably disassociating really hard, she gets up leaves the apple-shaped house and looks around outside. Now, I need some things clarified. Describe New
Mhm.
Haven to me again now, as it was before and as it is now.
Before, when it was the gift ship, it was the best way to describe it would be London during the bubonic plague. It was very grungy, dirty, miserable. There were violent fights always erupting, lots of crime. But now, since Giftman, which was the gift ship, has now become New Haven, the best way to describe it would be when the modern day London and England. It's bright, the streets are clean, there's many different species, many different races of people, very bright, booming trade. It's when you would go to the market, you would see so many different things from different parts of the cluster. That's why it was called New Haven, because it really was a safe haven, a haven for people to come and enjoy.
And this entire city is a ship?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So each ship is their planet ships.
It's a planet-sized ship. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now here's my next question. Am I
Yes.
in a crystal sphere or am I in the phlogiston?
Crap,
Right?
I'm never gonna be able to pronounce the second word.
Phlogiston.
Crystal sphere.
Okay. Now, what's the difference between the astral sea and the astral plane?
Okay, so
This is for me, for the player, than for Rose. But I just need to know so that way I know how I'm handling it going forward.
no. It's just a matter. So when I say the astral plane, I mean that in the D&D, instead of saying the astral universe, I just say astral plane. The astral sea is which part of the astral plane you're in, because there's the astral sea and then there's wild space.
Right.
So it's just the whole general name for the for this part of the universe you're in.
Okay. Now, this might be a little metagamey, but I haven't really been keeping up with the episodes lately. Sorry, I've been meaning to catch up. But what I've been hearing
Yes.
via Discord and through the podcast feed in general made it sound like a fiery tsunami was approaching on all we see. So as I look out over the city, I'm assuming I see this carnage in the city, but what do I see beyond the horizon?
This is, you know what I would like you to do, because you have your sight has been different lately. So roll me an Arcana roll for me real quick, because there might be a little bit more you'll actually see.
10.
You only needed to get a 5, so that's more than enough. So as you're looking out, you see so much more. You see past the artificial atmosphere sky. It's as if your sight keeps going until finally you see like this strange pocket. It doesn't look like what would be a black hole. This literally looks just like, because there's the matter, dark matter, and then boom, nothing. And as you're looking, you swear you see your old mentor. Everyone just called her the old crone. And as she turns to look in your direction, and then you get kind of a little bit of a headache.
Okay, but I don't see like a tsunami of flames barreling down upon us.
Not
or
yet.
Something like that.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming I can see other mimics, for lack of a better term, running amok in the streets. How shadowy do they look?
Oh, all right. That is actually a good question. Their fur is, it's not pitch black. It's just black. It's not super shadowy. It's
Okay. Taking all this in, Rose takes a deep breath as she's clutching her feather pendant. And you see, in the few days since Giftman became New Haven, in an effort to understand some things, her powers have changed in more than one way, more than just the whole creation magic thing.
mm-hmm.
Digging into a local library, she wasn't able to find much, but she did find something that explains at least part of her new powers. She learned of illumination magic.
Ooh.
Instead of a person having access to earth, water, fire, or wind, some people are aspected towards light, as is the case with some of her new spells she's picked up since the whole reality changes thing. Her hand, it glows exactly, but it's not like a light bulb glowing. Instead, she gets that ring that comes from a lens flare effect. You know what I'm trying to talk about, right?
Yes.
She gathers that around her hands, and she thinks to herself, if this can illuminate darkness, and if my powers can really change things, she casts Starburst, the cantrip Starburst, up into the air, and she's focusing her power into it to create a wave that will basically wash over the city, and it'll get rid of any of the black creatures around. Starburst does this.
Oh, that is
Starburst does this. You cause a mote of
amazing.
starlight to appear and explode in a 5-foot cube you can see within range. If a creature is in the cube, it must succeed on a charisma saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage. So I am just going for a ripple effect here. I want these things gone out of the city.
Oh, yes, that is so awesome. Yes, you're not going to need to worry about damage because of what you've become. You're really picking up quick of what you are. So as you described, just this rainstorm of like starburst is coming from the sky, but it's not destroying the ground. When these orbs of light come down, each one of those creatures just literally dissolves into like a mist as they're just and they're gone. And now I don't imagine if you were just trying to aim for the city, but with your newfound abilities, you're able to just paint the entirety of the whole ship in this, protecting everyone.
If I may,
Mm-hmm.
can I say the area of effect I put up looks like one of Saturn's rings around the ship now?
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. That is beautiful.
Okay, so the ship is protected as much as it can be now. So Rose takes a deep breath after with Sparkle still dancing around in the air from what she just did. And then she turns and Servon are very much community-based individuals, so she's gonna go and start helping people rescue people, collect bodies, and so far and so forth, and that's pretty much what else she does. She's just gonna help the people now.
It's and I'm going to give you a reward for that because of what you did here. As you're working, Rose. Okay. Because I'm trying to explain this the best way I could, because this was actually supposed to be the reward for saving it anyway. So as you're working, you swear you see one of the, God, I can't remember what the area in Humblewood is called, but one of those massive trees, and you see a door on it. And as you're still working, you notice the door opens up, and then out comes some Alkin.
You mean Luma?
Oh yeah, hold up. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm about to pull out my. I was about to grab my Humblewood books. I want to make sure I call each one of the. Okay, it's not Alkin. But so right now it's all the avian folk from Humblewood.
Bird folk, yes.
Yes. So as it's all the different varieties of bird folk are coming in, and they're just quick, help the people, handle the debris, and this regal-looking Lumia. You've heard tale from him. He was a very famous wanderer in Humblewood. His name is Leif Erikson. Miss Rose, we were worried when you suddenly vanished. But that old crone, she told us that you would be opening up to us to a strange new land. We've been waiting patiently for that day.
Okay, for Crest the player, I'm assuming the ship now has a gigantic tree looming over the entire city.
Yes. Sorry, I should have emphasized that, but yes, that's what I meant. Yes, exactly. That those big old trees.
Hold on, I'm taking notes on board.
No. You no need to apologize. Excuse me. You picked up quick on what the weakness of the always hungry was.
Well, in all honesty, I actually wasn't playing that. I just dug up illumination magic because I thought it'd be
I really
based on everything. But yeah, then you threw this at me and it was like, oh, okay, I'll just do this.
It was the right choice. So, and I loved what you did with it. I love the image of this gargantuan ring, the Saturn ring, and now we have this big tree coming up. It's evoking this really cool image in my head right now.
What was the Luma's name is?
His name is Leif Erikson. So it's spelled Leif and then just Rikson.
Rikson?
Yes.
Okay, for the record, if that's some sort of reference, I don't get it.
No. Okay, so I'm just naming him after a very famous Viking. He was technically Leif Erikson was one of the first Europeans to discover America before Columbus. Leif Erikson was a Viking.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to name him after a famous explorer.
Rose's eyes are once again the size of dinner plates again. She stares some more, and then this poor village girl just faints.
Oh no, they are not letting you hit the ground. Leif jumps to catch you. Thankfully, he rolled a nat 20 to catch you. And he is just fanning you because he is worried now. He's just, hey, quick, somebody please give me some water. And just more Humblewood denizens start pouring into Haven, just helping people. And now, this isn't an insult. This is just for me to really just help you understand the way I'm describing the powers of Humblewood's denizens. They're like orcs from Warhammer 40k, meaning...
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so orcs in Warhammer 40k, whatever they believe is true. Like, they literally put cardboard boxes into cars and that say engine and the car runs. They paint something red and it goes faster. So whatever Humblewood denizens believe comes to be. So literally there's all the bird folk, they're just looking at piles of debris as they stretch their hand. And like in Harry Potter, the pieces of debris are floating in the air and the buildings are reconstructing themselves perfect.
Okay. I basically unleashed demigods upon the city of New Haven. I'm probably still fainting. And on the scene of Humblewood people just fixing this world, for lack of a better term. Unless you do something to wake me up, Brian, I think that's it for now.
Okay, for now, because I'm not going to force, because Rose needs to agree to go to the trial. It's that she's not just going to be forced there. So we're going to just stop right there for right now. Because I'm just going to imagine like Leif is just trying to dab your face with like a cold cloth or something. He'll try to wake you up that way.
Okay.
So actually, you know what that is going to be the last thing I'm going to have them do is they're going to take you to, they construct a literal living, like a giant living bush medical center. They bring you there. They put you on the bed that's made of roots. And Leif is just patiently just dabbing at your head with a wet cloth going, Miss Rose, please, please. Oh, no, she's going to, the old crone is going to kill me. Does Rose wake up with when the cold water hits her head?
It would probably take a hot minute before that happens.
This is perfect. So you know what? I have the perfect way to segment back in. So as this takes a hot minute, we come back to finally. I want to come to you, Harry. Sean?
Sorry, I'm back.
Oh, no. All right. So as I've described with everyone else that got teleported, you're in this vast nothing, but you don't feel like a prisoner. And, excuse me. And then as you look down, that outfit that I described the Arbiter wearing, granted your hand hasn't become a spear or a shield, but you're now wearing that same outfit. And as you look out, you just see an endless sea of these arbiters. They all look at you and in perfect unison, they put their left hand with the spear to their chest and they take a knee.
Okay. And that's Harry saying that. And like, are they like making like a path you can follow, or
it's a sea opens up in the arbiters, and when they do, when they split, the first row stand up and they make a little archway for you to walk underneath.
Yeah, Harry's gonna start walking through. He's still not sure what's going on, but that seems to be his normal status quo.
Mr. Harry. And then now that little individual that I described as a head with arms and squid tentacles appears in front of you. Gabby! And he looks at you and goes, hello, Harry. My name is Gabby. But I like for them to call me Gab. Will you call me Gab?
Sure, Gab.
Yeah!
You're my friend if you can tell me what's going on for once.
What's going on is what's going on is you have a big responsibility ahead of you. Did you know you have a pure heart, Mr. Harry?
That's kind of a shock, honestly, considering
You-
I'm a thief and
But you've always done what's right in the end, Harry. Have you not? Because we've
Right.
watched you.
lately at least, yeah, I'll give you that.
So, don't doubt yourself. You have a big responsibility ahead of you. You're going to be the one, you are the bailiff for this trial, and you are the one who watches over the arbiters. One strike from these guys, and they can erase a multiverse just by themselves.
I see. Harry rubs the back of his head nervously.
Only someone with a pure heart can lead this army. All the helms, they're just turning, just looking at you. If you've ever seen Hellboy 2 in the Golden Army,
Yeah.
as you're walking, a golden, like, it would seem like it's a wooden thorn vine crown, but it's gold at the same time.
Things have gotten worse than just like the whole trial for the guy we were originally putting on trial, hasn't it?
Yes, Harry. Yes, Harry. Yes, Harry. Yeah, boss. Sign my chest! That's just coming from all the arbiters looking at you.
I don't swing that way, but okay.
Oh, boy. And you haven't just been walking straight, because literally you've been following a path of the splitting. So literally it would branch off left, branch off right, until you finally see that gorgeous individual I've been explaining, Slán. Well. You might want to be careful, Gab. If you leave me here with him, he won't be pure anymore longer than 5 seconds with me. And she runs the strange fleshy finger down your chest, Harry.
Actually, sorry, Brian, can you repeat that?
So basically just one of the ancients is flirting with you. She's running a finger down your chest, and then she pinches your butt.
Well, normally I hear people find out about this stuff on the outer net, but this is new.
Oh, Gab, he is even more innocent than we were all led to believe. She just runs one of what you would think is like a hand just made of pure gaudy flesh just across your cheek, but it doesn't leave any blood or anything. It just looks like an inside out human. She just runs one of those inside out hands across your face lovingly. And
hey, now I'm not all innocent. I've given a rusty venture once or twice.
You just hear some of the arbiters go, "Holy crap! I heard it!" Please. I'm going to put so many so many censors of what each one of these arbiters describe. And Gab goes, "Whoa! I always heard a rusty venture is." I'm not saying it because it's just so gross. Damn it!
Look, I had a crazy girl. I have a crazy ex-girlfriend who had control issues, and who, ironically, I thought was the more moral of the two of us. And
God, I'm crying.
And all this, I think he actually kind of like he does a wacky inflatable 2-man wiggle of his goo arm.
Just Slán just chuckles at you and goes, "Even with that one, you're still a virgin compared to me, boy." She goes, "But enough about that for now. You have a big job in front of you, but at the same time, you have to remain unbiased. You see, from now on, forevermore, till the day you either surrender that crown, just until you surrender that crown and retire, you will forevermore be, basically the man in charge of the Arbiter. It takes someone with a pure heart and the right kind of empathy to rule this army. They've been still for so long because we didn't know that Tharizdun had killed the former king. We need you to take his place now."
Wait, the former king or Tharizdun?
Oh, the former king, the former one that commanded this army of arbiters.
Well, I try to be as unbiased as I can, but I'm also a logical man, being a little bit of a, I guess you say scientist with my gadgetry and stuff.
That's exactly the kind of thinking we need. You'll be perfect. You'll do perfect. She, with a little wiggle of her hips, she walks away, just into the vast nothingness, just fading away. You feel in your soul, and as you look, you see Gabby has that gargantuan smile that I described before, just happiness. And you hear in your soul just that voice, the scale tips towards letting them persist to exist evermore. You
Oh
have
dang! I didn't
pleased.
even get to do.
You...
Oh dang! I had a whole thing. I had a whole thing that I can't do now.
Oh, the trial still is ongoing. You've just added another grain towards your favor. There's still more time, and I look forward to this plan.
No,
of
that was
yours.
me out. That was me out of character.
Oh, damn it!
But, no, but
I was
I
hoping you
actually
said
have,
it.
I have an in character way to actually work it. It goes, all right. Let me run through this quick, just from my knowledge of everything I've been through so far.
Yes.
My dad sacrificed himself to keep something from messing up this world.
Yes.
And you need someone pure heart, unbiased, to take care of this army, because this army could wipe this place off the map.
It could bring an end to everything. Mother had to create something that could even destroy her. That is pure neutrality. That is only what's fair. So yes, this army could wipe everything away.
Yeah. You know what? It kind of reminds me of the story I heard in school. They were working on a navigation program for the ship, right? It was
Yes.
kind of old school, still steam powered.
Yes.
And they found this file in it that they didn't know why. It was like seemed like a little image file, right? But and then the thing was working. But the prototype was working, right? But then someone's like saying, "Well, no, why do we need this file?" They deleted it, right? Whole damn thing stopped working. No one knew why that file needed to be there. They had struggled to figure out who in the programming set that up. But as soon as they put it back, it started working. And I just gotta say, my unbiased opinion, can't always know the effects of something being gone until it's gone. It might have, that's me as an engineer too,
That was actually a very perfect way to sum everything up. Yes, that's exactly what needs to happen. We had a program that needed to be reprogrammed. And just this pile of rats forms ahead. Ah, Ulrich! That means we're close. And then finally, you have come to... You see what looks like just this gargantuan jury stand. You see clearly all these different entities and individuals, some that even your mind has trouble fathoming what they could even be. You see this impossibly tall, endless judge stand. You recognize Bella, sitting at the top. You see in this red pillar of light, Tharizdun with his hands above his head and his feet chained between them. On the right of the judge stand is a white pillar of light with blades floating around it. But on the left, that's where you're supposed to stand.
Harry's going to move over to the left.
And as you do, you raise into the ground. And then with this, the seer, the doctor, walk in. And the trial begins. This strange-looking entity, he looks like he's literally made of ink. And he looks like a suit. He has like a suit on, but with a red shirt and a black tie. He has like green inside of his mouth. He has a green tongue and green fangs. Yes, hello everyone. It's me, everyone's favorite kind of guy. Oh, but I'm here for something very important. I'm here to prove to everyone here, and of course the great ancients around us, that Tharizdun here has gone too far, taking what was meant to be the center of our multiverse, Sigil, and turning it into his own twisted playground where he could play God behind everyone's backs. And also murdering trillions of lives from just universes just so he can make his little puppets. It is my job today to prove this to you ancients, and to prove it to you, O Judge Bellmeyer, because even you have been sinned against. I wouldn't be a good prosecutor if I didn't do my job and know that you've been lied to this entire time, believing that there's no other tieflings, that there's no other ones of your kind. Well,
There are others like me.
well, once again, another one of Tharadune's sins. Lying and hiding people's true existence from them. You didn't get the choice to ever say, hey, I would like to not be around that. Because guess what? It just looks like at first like a little sparkler going off, and then it rips out into a circle. And you just, so many different breeds, so many different kinds of tieflings all looking through this portal. Hello, everyone. So good to see you. Can we please have your testimony? Yes, we remember existing in all different planes until the day we were abducted by Tharazdun and his little cronies, the eldest evils, led by Father Limmick, came and abducted us all from our homes and literally locked us away in a pit away from everyone.
Were you born of my mother as well?
Yes. So many of us, we've come from different members of your of different families. We never had the choice to where if we wanted to. So many of them just start crying and they go.
So you're also demigods, then part god, part demon.
Yes. I know you're probably wondering. Then why didn't we just use our own powers to try to find our own way back? Believe me, we've been trying.
So I'm no longer special then. And something sparks behind her eye.
Oh.
Start a fire.
Tell me more about this fire.
It's just, you know when her eyes glow with that inner fire? It's the start of that. She is very unlikely aware of it right now, but her emotions are starting to go haywire. She's starting to draw not only on her sorceress power, but on what she truly is.
Ooh.
She's not happy that she is no longer special. This is what you get when you tell a demigod their entire life they are special, and then suddenly they're not.
Prosecutor, I was hoping he would catch on to this, but no, he didn't roll high enough. He's just looking out at the stands, just telling everyone. So this is unbeknownst to him. Will anyone catch on to this? The seer, Sam.
Yes, dearie.
Well, the seer, how do you before we continue? I need to know one thing first. How do you react when you see all these other tieflings gazing out to you?
I sympathize with them. Actually, more importantly, I empathize with them.
And importantly enough, and the biggest thing too is you don't need to see it. You feel it. You feel when all that happens to Bella. You can feel that emotion pouring from her.
Well, of course I can.
And so, all right, because would you like to request a sidebar?
Yes, I do, dearie.
So these glowing steps appear in front of you. And as you walk up the spiral, you finally approach up to the judge's bench. Take it away.
I am the seal. This is my official title, and it has been for a very long time, dearie. Though my true names, are quite special to me, so I shall not reveal them. But I have been alive much, much longer than most of you. I have experienced the lives of trillions of people, trillions of times. Everywhere I go, I leave little seeds. And these little seeds are my eyes and ears of what goes on in the galaxy, which is why I know that the suffering of my people was real. Just like the suffering of these other tieflings is real. You're not lied to. You're also victims in the grand scheme when you should not have been. So, my whole existence, I have tried to be everything that my father was not. He was a coward. As powerful as he was, The truth is, I spent my life to be everything he was not. I tried to save those who could not protect themselves. And when I found injustice, I took it upon myself to punish those who would enslave and brutalize those who did not deserve it. I am known as the monster in Battlefield and the monster in other places. I wink at the women, but
The women swoon.
but the fact is, it has been a very long and lonely road for me. And to think that I'm not special, I am only one piece of such a fine, large galaxy. I don't need praise. I don't need glory. As long as I can save one person who is in need, that's good enough for me. And now I have one more reason to live. I have a beautiful daughter now. Something that I never thought was possible. Though I've only met her just a month ago, she is the gleam of my light, and she will be the heart of everything that I do from this point forward.
I see. So you want me to pretend that I was never special, that I was never supposed to marry Michael?
You can believe whatever you want, dearie. You are young. However, you are now an adult. I cannot pick and choose what you wish to believe. And as I told you, even when I present you facts, I cannot make you believe it. That has to be your choice. But a question for you, is your self-importance more important than the lives of the trillions of other people left in this galaxy?
And this is when I will actually have 2 surprise witnesses based on from your guys' way you've played. This is the first of many from your guys' actions, and this plays in perfectly from the 2 people speaking right now.
Okay.
So, boom, it's like a spotlight hits, and Bella,
Yes.
your friend, childhood friend Link, stands up and goes, even if you aren't the only one of your kind, who says you aren't special? You are special. You're special to so many different people. You're special to me, and I know that's all that matters. Boom, another spotlight hits. And I agree with this person, especially because the one who's speaking up there with you, you better believe they're special because they helped change my life in so many positive ways after the death of my father. And Attila, you recognize Attila, the seer? So,
Attila.
I believe, I'll say this, I may not know you, Your Honor, but you're definitely special. If you're up there, that means you are special. So Link just looks at you, tears in his eyes, and goes, so please, don't sit there and say you're not special. Because when you do, you break a lot of people's hearts when we have to hear that, because we think so much of you. Bella, you hear a lot of people agree in this.
Slowly, ever so slowly, that inner fire recedes and her eyes go back to their normal gold, not fire bright anymore.
Link just looks up, and even though it seems so impossibly tall, he can clearly see your face. And he just goes, there's that girl I know.
I hold my hand out to Link. Come here.
Steps appear in front of him, and he walks spiraling up, and he's standing there right in front of you, behind the judge podium.
I'm still holding my hand out to him.
Oh, he wraps you up in a big hug.
And I cling to him.
He just holds you tight. Just,
Mine.
Link looks at you and goes, I'm proud of you, Bella. Because here's another reason why you're special. Right now, you have all of this power. You have all of this, and you're still not just thinking that about anybody else. And you're not thinking about just yourself still. You have so many different things. So, no, you're not thinking about abusing it. You're not just thinking about how you can profit. You could have did that the minute you were up here, but you didn't.
Maybe I should.
Nah, Bella, you have a good head on your shoulders.
If it would keep you safe, I would abuse all the power in the world. And keep those I call mine safe. I would stand against even the gods themselves. And she means that.
And guess what? You feel in your soul a grain towards salvation. Gabby claps, floating in the sky. You may think it's wrong, but you just need a little help seeing the big picture because you do understand. You have true love, Bella. It's so.
You do realize that I do consider Tharsdoon mine. I'm going to marry him. He will be my first husband, and then
Oh, his smile's getting really big.
on my second, Link, if you would.
Link happily will take that. And so, Kat,
Yes.
I was about to come to you actually.
Uh huh.
So, Bella,
Yeah.
this is actually really going to be fun because you guys have done a really good job so far. So I had two different routes I was going to steer this in, so I'm going to reward you guys. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you guys for this in this game. So everyone's going to get exactly what they want, and allow me to do it now.
Okay.
And guess what? So I needed you all to work together. So Sam, thank you for doing what the seer did. That was huge.
You're welcome, dearie.
So, Sean, the first part is I need you to do something before I go to a cat room.
Okay.
Sean, so Harry, you're standing there and you're thinking back, and this is little spoilery for you because we have to go back and record that session, but this won't spoil any of the main story, but this is just, there was an important thing that your dad told you in Helheim.
Okay.
So, son, I've had the opportunity. I have seen I got to see one event in the future, but at the same time, I saw trillions of different versions of that future where choices made. Out of all of them, each one of them ends bad, but I saw one where everyone will get a happy ending. Now, to make sure this happens, I can't tell you exactly what it is, but there will be a moment, son. You will feel it in your heart. You will know what to do at that moment. Don't hesitate. Do it. And as you're standing there looking, you look in your hand, a golden spear appears. And you know one thing. You feel it. Throw it at Tharsdoon. Do you throw it?
Yeah, I think he does.
I see this.
All right. So, Bella, before you get panicky,
Okay.
I want you to...
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
As he throws this spear, it hits Tharsdoon, but there's a chain attached to the spear. Harry turns around, pulls it, and a human form of Tharsdoon, granted butt naked, rips out of the demon, the god Tharsdoon, and lands in your lap, Bella. The pillar explodes in light, and
My
there's
eyes are just so wide right now.
and then there's Bella. I mean, not Bella. There is Figs, now in her new form, the Lady of Pain. Tharsdoon, the pure god. Tharsdoon looks in horror. Take it away, Kat. How do you want to do this?
So all those swords that were on my position,
Mm-hmm.
they're all gonna gleam like the Jathman dagger.
His eyes grow even wider, and he's just, please. I'm sorry. I didn't make you be. You had a good life, didn't you?
I had suffering, just as so many before me have. You didn't grant a good life. You granted whatever sick game you wanted to play, and all of you before them were complacent. There will be no more. There'll be no more delusions that one person did all this by themselves when so many turned away. There will be no more gods. There will only be order. And I'm gonna have the blades go everywhere to whoever is deemed.
I was waiting for this moment. So, Bella, you're safe. You're not going to get pierced with a sword.
Yeah, but my husband's mine. So
No,
my
they
wing-
won't. No, they won't. Tharsdoon
That's-
is a human now.
Yeah.
That's why I specifically said he's a human now. Link is a human.
Okay,
Yeah, all
but
the blades have their target.
They're not going for you guys. She's
Okay.
going for somebody, the bigger ones. So guess what? All those ancients, the ancient ones, they're not angry. They are so happy and proud because this was the moment that was supposed to happen. They happily accept their fate. A blade,
About to get killed.
A blade pierces through Gab. A blade pierces through Slon. Blades pierce through Void. Mother Cosmos is just obliterated.
Waste of perfectly good tentacles there. But I understand.
The Lady of
will-
Pain.
Wow.
I just want to say this. The Lady of Pain is merciful. She spares the Doctor and Genova because Genova denounced her godhood. And
I will.
this- oh,
Can I
yes,
say one
Harry?
thing, Brian?
Oh, of course, sorry.
I think Harry, when he does this, he also managed to pull a. I don't want to. I feel like this is something he's had planned for a while.
Hell yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. He got thrown onto Bella's lap, didn't?
Yeah,
didn't
the,
he?
the human Tharsnoon.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do this. No, he's not gonna. I think you see Harry, like when he pulls him out, he actually has like he pulls something out like a yellowish water balloon out of his pocket, but then he realizes like the whole situation is like I really want.
I would like to make a
Just to
small
drop it to the
amendment
ground.
too.
Oh, yes, please do.
None of them go for the Godthars, dude. Quite yet. She's
Oh,
Dude,
please.
he's the best for last, so he's gonna get all the blades afterwards.
And he just looks at you one last time and goes, please, 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 lady, please don't do this.
I have made the new law. There shall be no more gods.
And they all pierce him every angle, every side. He's buried in all the blades. And just as the punishment and the crime and the sin that he did of turning his own father's bones into a cluster of planet-sized ships, Tharsdoon's own, that is the last thing he will ever know in any conscious thought, as he is used as the explosion to create Sigil. And then with that, literally the Lady of Pain
Hold
armor.
One
Yes.
more thing.
Oh, yes.
So, given that what she can do, her last mercy is to change the room so everyone's being pushed away from her as she grows Sigil.
Oh, thank you, because you set this up perfect. Because you will all be, as Sigil is being birthed, everyone, the ancients, the mimics, everyone, because those weren't gods, they're just mimics. They all get pushed to New Haven. You all are just, boom! You land on the ground of what once was Giftman, and the Lady of Pain still floating above you. Her armor explodes, and you know how in Iron Maiden looks with the female face? The Lady of Pain armor just does like that, and it just fades away, and Figs, you softly float down to the ground. And as you look around, you see all these new different people and denizens, and then I would like to think that's finally when Rose wakes up. And I'm just going to sit back. I want you guys to take it away.
Rose blinks, looks up at Leif Erikson, and then says, "Was there a big boom just now?"
There was the biggest boom, Rose. Something amazing just happened. He is so excited. The glee on his face is just adorable.
This poor girl from the country is so tired. She slowly gets up off the bed, prestidigitates her clothes clean because they probably feel gross by it, and walks out. What does she see?
Oh god, this is so cheesy, but I have to do this. It's literally that ending from Star Wars. There's a path open for you, Rose, to continue to. And where everyone landed down, that's where everyone has been formed waiting. And there's your old mentor. She's waiting for you, as is the group's waiting for you. Just beautiful rose petals are pouring down from the sky, and everyone's cheering. People are crying as they're looking at you guys. They're just tears in their eyes. Just a little girl runs up to you, Rose, and hands you a literal white rose, does a curtsy to you, and runs back to her family.
Okay. Rose can read the situation well enough. She strides up to the others, and then she says, "Who are you?"
Well, Maya.
Could be better, could be worse.
Y'all need to think of what you're going to call yourselves, because you're going to be going down in history as some pretty legendary heroes. this old, very old gerbil says to you guys.
Well, I'm not comfortable with calling ourselves god killers.
I think Harry suddenly realizes there's a bunch of anthropomorphic animals around him because I think Harry has not ran into humble folk that often, and I think it finally kind of clicks. Like, wait, you're a gerbil?
Yeah. Yes. Ah, Rose. I knew you could do it.
I also need clothes for this one, and I point to Tharsdoon, the human version.
Why clothe him, Dewey? He's such a fine thing to look at.
Oh my god! Even I'm blushing right now. You got
Wait,
So you got the family jewels.
Tharsdoon killed, or did I misunderstand
this is the human one. You literally saved the one human. You literally pulled and created a human essence of it. The evil god Tharsdoon is no more. This is just a man who has the name Tharsdoon.
In fact, whenever someone mentions a god now, there's gonna be like rakings on the ground, like a sword's crossed through.
Just to prove this point, just to show you, because this was funny as hell when we did it in MVWF. So just as one guy goes, "Hey, did you guys hear about that one god?" And all of a sudden, a gargantuan bastard sword just embeds in the wall next to his head, and he goes, "Never mind about that." And he just whistles and walks away with half of his hair gone.
Okay, if that's the case, then I think Harry's actually going to pick up the human Tharsdoon and shake him awake.
Oh my!
He needs clothes first.
No, he doesn't.
Well, no. I know. I will.
This is gonna be funny.
I will get him clothes, but I think this is something he needs so that he doesn't relapse.
Oh god! Oh goodness! What are you gonna do to me?
And then I think Harry holds up the water balloon clearly filled with piss. If you do any of that bullshit, if you ever fuck up, I'm just saying, I'm not going to hit him with it, but I'm telling you, you've been given a second chance, live up to it, or otherwise I'm going to make you drink a bucket full of piss. I will personally if you go off the deep end and start, I'm just telling you right now, I am giving you a second chance, but after all the crap you've done in the past.
Dewey, I think that's the wrong threat. What if he's into it?
Tharsdoon is shaking in fear.
Sean, was that a bucket or a balloon?
A balloon. I love this. So,
okay, Rose is going to interject at this point. She waves her hand. She disappears the balloon and the liquid inside, and then she waves her other hand, and suddenly, I don't think she was paying much attention to what kind of clothes she was giving Tharsdoon. So, Brian, I give you full permission to scar herself for life.
Okay, this is amazing. Tharsdoon got your threat, Sean. But guess what? Just to really hammer home that don't you ever do anything like this again, Tharsdoon goes up in the air. It looks like the Sailor Moon transformation, and he lowers down. He's wearing a banana hammock.
There are worse outfits. Okay, Rose says that she's pinching her snout, I guess. And then she said,
really is my son.
And then she said, "Can we please get on with the epilogue to the story? I have had a very..."
And yes, Phoenix, you were about to say?
I think I can also handle my husband.
Tharsdoon turns red.
I just grin.
So
I don't think it's not that I don't think you can, Bella. I want him to realize what a extraordinary opportunity he's had.
Well, that too. Yes.
And so
I'm sure he will.
And here's the thing is that we are going to do the epilogue of the story, but we're going to need to schedule a solo session for each of those because I want you guys more than just a simple sentence. I want you to feel happy with where you leave your thing is going, because you guys worked hard on these characters. So
yeah, I'm a bit.
So
I'm
there's still
saying goodbye to them so soon.
So I want you guys to be happy with where they're going because, granted, the story goes on with Romance of the Ship Kingdom because As all the flowers and everything are coming down, Figs, you finally see your man again. There's Bastion. He has this beautiful headband draped across his forehead.
Mhm.
And it's to cover his scarred eyes that got horribly ruined in the battle. And he's wearing a very beautiful white suit with a like purple flower engraving embossing going through the sleeves and across the back. And he goes, "My queen."
He said he had some scarring.
Yep, on his where you can see underneath the bandage, you can see where his eyes were just destroyed.
Mhm.
And he just holds out his hand because he can hear where you are, and he's just, "There's my darling."
He's gonna walk up to him. Hold on, let me message you something real quick.
Yes. This was a chance for you to do it a really cute way if you wanted to.
Yeah, so she's gonna walk up to him, steeple their hands together and just kind of like have it rest on her stomach, and then she's gonna use her other hand to like swipe over his eyes and fix them.
He blinks once, everything's blurry. He blinks twice, he sees your shape, and when he blinks the third time, he sees you. His eyes fill with just tears looking upon you, and he just picks you up and twirls you in a circle. And as he does, he says, "I never want to be away from you ever again. Even no matter the price, even if I have to fight the devils themselves, I'm not letting you go again."
Won't suffer anymore.
You hear your Lady of Pain side just tell you, "Ooh, I like this one."
Yeah, she'll tell him like, "We won't suffer any longer. I'll make sure of it."
He just rests your forehead against. He rests his forehead against yours and says, "Now, here's my big question: will you be my queen of the cluster?"
I was yours from the start.
The crowd cheers. Just flowers dropping down. And this is one of the only times I'm going to do this because this is how I want to end this session off. Is goddamn, I'm about to cry right now. We flash a little bit to where Rose, Harry, the seer, the doctor, and Bellmeyer are all standing facing the crowd. And Bastion goes to each of you and places a beautiful golden rose crown on your head and gives each one of you a very special medal. And this is going to help for fun going into the epilogue. Your characters will all now automatically be level 20.
Okay.
Because who says the epilogue only needs to be one session? Just going to say that now. Just saying. So you all, and he holds out his hands outstretched to, and this is being broadcasted to the entirety of the cluster. "I give you our heroes, the people that helped me become the emperor for you all and lead us to a better tomorrow and saved the multiverse." And the crowd's applause leads us out. Dear listeners, thank you so much. You have all been amazing. Not just the listeners, but you, my players. And goodbye.